So it's been a year since we've lost Charles Bradley, the screaming eagle of soul. Hi, I'm Derrick Stevens. I am the production manager for The Current. Charles has been in our studios 3 times. But whenever Charles Bradley would come into the studio, we would always make a connection. The very first time I actually talked to Charles Bradley on the telephone, we were talking for probably 5 to 7 minutes. And we were talking about his performance here in the Twin Cities. We were talking about how his tour was going. We was talking about his health, because at the time he was just battling some health issues and he was just getting over that hump. So we were talking about all of these things. And like I said, 7 minutes into our conversation, Charles goes, who is this again? So of course I said, well, this is Derrick, the production manager of The Current in Minneapolis. And then Charles would go, oh, that's that beautiful studio in Minneapolis you're talking about, right? I think I know who you are. So we decided that we would go with the baby brother type of introduction, so he would know who I was when I called. So they used to call him Baby Bro, and my siblings called me Baby Bro. So that was one of the things we had in common. So all I had to say was, Charles, it's Baby Bro. And he would instantly know who it was on the phone. And we also took a picture together. We've taken several photos together when he's been here in the studios, but there was one particular photo where he was sitting on this bench and I was kneeling down next to him. And that's the picture that I told him he should use as my contact photo. So whenever I called him on his cell phone, that picture would roll up and he would know exactly who it was. So that's what he ended up doing. So going forward, whenever I would call Mr. Bradley, he would know who it was, and instantly he'd yell out, hey, Baby Bro, Minneapolis, how you doing? Charles Bradley, he's been gone a year. His story in itself, the documentary that he did a few years ago, kind of told his story and told how he was in the music business for years upon years, never really got that big break until later on in life. But I think Charles Bradley definitely took advantage of that break later on in life to make his mark in the music industry. And even though he's been gone a year, it doesn't seem like it. And I think people, they miss him. I think people miss his music and they miss his realness. When Charles was on stage, you knew that's where that man wanted to be. He wanted to be nowhere else except on that stage, singing his songs, making people have fun. He would get off stage, he would go around, he would hug people in the crowd. I mean, that was just Charles Bradley. I miss the guy like crazy. I miss the phone calls we used to have, the text messages that we would relay periodically, just the checking in. I would just say, Mr. Bradley, continue to rest in peace. The music that you have created and left us will live on, and you will never be forgotten. Charles Bradley, we love you.